But because our response is working, because Ukrainians are fighting so valiantly and using the equipment we've given them, and the United States alone has committed over $2 billion to NATO. The idea that they don't have enough sophisticated equipment is just simply not accurate. And I'm not going to take the time to go into all the detail here, but the point is they have every equipment, every piece of equipment that makes rational sense based on our military and NATO's military for them to be able to do what they're doing. And they're wreaking havoc on the Russian military, whether it's their tanks or their helicopters or their aircraft. And if you notice, they've just launched their hypersonic missile because it's the only thing that they can get through with absolute certainty. It's, as you all know, it's a consequential weapon, but with the same warhead on it as any other launched missile, it doesn't make that much difference, except it's almost impossible to stop it. There's a reason they're using it. And now Putin's back against the wall. He wasn't anticipating the extent or strength of our unity, and the more his back is against the wall, the greater the severity of the tactics he may employ. We've seen it before. He's run a lot of false flag operations. Whenever he starts talking about something he thinks NATO, Ukraine, or the United States is about to do, it means he's getting ready to do it. Not a joke. You may recall, I said this to a few of you this morning, that I was able to declassify a whole range of operations that they were about to engage in without sacrificing sources and methods. And it was able to give everybody clear notice what was about to come, and to convince a lot of our friends around the world that we know what they're about to do. And so his back is against the wall, and he's talking about new false flags he's setting up, including he's asserting that we, America, have biological as well as chemical weapons in Europe. Simply not true. I guarantee you. They're also suggesting that Ukraine has biological and chemical weapons in Ukraine. That's a clear sign he's considering using both of those. He's already used chemical weapons in the past, and we should be careful what's about to come. He knows there'll be severe consequences because of the united NATO front, but the point is, it's real. And what I want to mention very quickly with you all is one of the tools he's most likely to use, in my view, in our view, is cyber attacks. They have a very sophisticated cyber capability. I've had, as they say in southern Delaware, where they are very religious, we've had an altar call, he and I, on this issue. We've had a long conversation about if he uses it, what would be the consequence. But the point is that he has a capability. He hasn't used it yet, but it's part of his playbook. And I've warned about the potential for Russian conduct to malicious cyber activity in response to the cost we'd impose with our allies and partners on the world. But look, today my administration is issuing new warnings that based on evolving intelligence, Russia may be planning a cyber attack against us. And as I said, the magnitude of Russia's cyber capacity is fairly consequential, and it's coming. The federal government is doing its part to get ready, but under U.S. law, as you all remember, the private sector, all of you, largely decides the protections that you will or will not take in order to protect your sources. But let me be absolutely clear about something. It's not just in your interest that are at stake with the potential use of cybersecurity. It is the national interest at stake. And I would respectfully suggest it's a patriotic obligation for you to invest as much as you can in making sure, and we will help in any way, that you have built up your technological capacity to deal with cyber attacks.